So I'm going to talk quickly about how this would work. So let's take Hasan Minhaj again. I'm going to go back and talk about Hasan Minhaj now, because remember, now we've got this sort of inventory that we've done. So this is sort of, again, we could take his story that I told you and take it through one of these processes. So one of them I could do is the rags to riches. Remember, he grew up kind of in a he was a first generation immigrant. His parents came here, and you could tell the story of how he was, didn't come from very much, went through this journey in that way. So that's one approach you could take. You could also take the approach of overcoming the monster. And so in this case, you should show how he overcame the monster. And so for this story, I'm actually going to use that one as our tool here. So I'm going to tell the story in this way when I actually introduce and tell the story of Hasan Minhaj. So I start by introducing the character. I introduce everyone to who this Hasan Minhaj character is. And then what I do is I tell how he learned about the monster. So for the monster, I'm actually going to position law school as his monster. In particular, I'm going to manifest law school as his father. His father is the monster who wanted him to go to law school. So he was told, you should go to law school in 6 months. So that is this monster. Now remember, he learns about the monster. That's the person, you have 6 months to figure this one out. Then he starts training for battle. So he says, okay, listen, I know that I'm going to have to go to law school. I'm going to try to beat this one. So he's doing some stand-up. He has some early successes. He gets in a couple TV shows. But suddenly, the battle gets revealed. His dad gives him a deadline and says, you have to go to law school. So that's when it's really revealed. He had this idea, maybe he's going to have to go to law school, but then it became real when his dad said, this is the moment. So he's losing the battle. He decides to launch this YouTube channel, and when he launches it, it's a flop. No one's watching it. He's not having any feedback. He doesn't know what to do. He's starting to get nervous. He's getting really frantic about the whole thing. And so then he tries a different approach. And he says, well, wait. My parents set aside this money for law school. What if I took a loan for it, and I invested some of that money in a better camera, some editing help, some more people on it? Maybe things will go differently. And that's what he started to do. And he suddenly realized that he was actually creating his own graduate school. He was learning in this rapid way, and that was how he defeated the monster. The Daily Show hired him, and finally now his father is no longer pushing for him to go to law school. So again, that's not how he told it, right? That's not exactly the order that he told it in, but I'm able to tell in that way by following the structure. I can take these facts and tell in a way that's compelling. Again, he basically just said, yeah, my parents made me go to law school, making me go to law school, but I decided to launch a YouTube channel, and that's how I kind of was able to get around it. That's like 2 sentences, right? But that's not a very compelling story. I want to show this journey behind it. And so again, the lesson in this entire thing that I want to then share with my story is that you can create your own graduate degree. And that's kind of the way that you see this playing out in that way. So again, questions on how this process works. I'm going to show you quickly how we're going to do it in Quip very quickly, but any questions on how you can use these sort of plots to plug your content into it? Because remember, we're going to show you now how to plug into this one, but questions on how you sort of use these plots at a high level. Does that make sense? You'll be surprised, and especially when you're giving a speech or whether you're writing, something like that. These techniques are hugely powerful in a way that may surprise you in that way.